Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
Police say a man stabbed his ex-girlfriend before turning the knife on himself. We talked to the victim's neighbors who say they knew the relationship could be violent.
It's a day to honor our veterans, and nearly 300 did that here at Camp Nelson.
A burglar makes a daring getaway after a man catches him in the act. WKYT News at 5 starts now.
A man is dead after police say he stabbed his estranged girlfriend and then himself.
That attack happened in the parking lot of Meese Middle School in Somerset this morning. This afternoon, we're learning this is not the first time the couple's relationship has turned violent. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more in our top story at 5.
Angie Rodriguez met her estranged boyfriend, Marcos Popche, here in this parking lot after she had dropped off her child at Meese Middle School. He handed her what began like a love letter, but ended in a threat.
One part of it we took almost, it was written in Spanish, almost a direct quote was, "I love you, and that's why we're both going to die."
Police say moments later, Rodriguez unbuckled her seatbelt and tried to get out of her car. That's when Popche stabbed her multiple times and then stabbed himself. He later died at UK, where we are told she was in surgery this afternoon.
They said that her colon, something to do with her colon. She's lost a lot of blood. She has a lot of stab wounds. Her hands are, she's cut all to pieces. She has stab wounds everywhere.
Her aunt says that her niece came to live with her when Popche hurt her about a month ago. Tim Owen says she actually came to his house for help then.
She came over and asked us if she could come in because Marcus had smacked her. She said he had choked her and said he was going to kill her.
We are told that Marcos Popche was a Guatemalan national living here in Somerset. He recently worked at a Mexican restaurant. Workers there say that he was a great worker, a very fine person. But I'm also told by neighbors that Angie Rodriguez was extremely scared of him. More on what they had to say at 6. But for now, in Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
We are told that no students witnessed the stabbing and the school was never put on lockdown. It is a day to remember veterans. Across Kentucky, people pause to pay tribute to those who have served our country.
Camp Nelson was among the places today holding special ceremonies. Our Jerica Insco shows us how veterans were honored in Jessamine County.
If your family is from this area and you have loved ones who served, it's likely they're buried here at Camp Nelson with thousands of other veterans. Ramona Ritchie knows she has at least 2 family members buried here, one of them being her great uncle who served during World War II. Today was her first time visiting his grave.
I grew up with him, actually. He was a minister in Lexington and Nicholasville for quite some time. I believe he was a professor at Asbury, and you know, it's neat seeing him out here looking at the lines and, you know, just noticing all the different things here in the flags and the, you know, kind of in the background.
Camp Nelson National Cemetery is what families of veterans consider a peaceful place, filled with stories of men and women who served this country.
You can feel, there's an atmosphere that you can feel around the area. And, you know, it just brings it home a little more clearly. What's been sacrificed for our freedoms.
Once the Veterans Day service began, it was a much different atmosphere. One Ritchie says she cannot explain unless you're there.
21 gun salute and all those different things. It was just very, very moving.
Veterans Day is always celebrated on November 11th, marking the last day of World War I, and out here at Camp Nelson, they always have a service. In Nicholasville, Jerica Insco, WKYT.
And nearly 300 people attended the Camp Nelson service today. In Lexington, Crawford Middle School students honoring our veterans as well. They were treated to patriotic songs and some dance routines. It was a chance for some of the middle schoolers to learn about the sacrifice our servicemen and women have made for our country.
I think that it would be an honor just to go meet every single one of the soldiers and just hear their story about their part in the war and just thank them and honor them.
Well said. Also on today's program, Miss Kentucky playing her rendition of My Old Kentucky Home.
Ceremonies also took place in our nation's capital today. Vice President Joe Biden laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns at Arlington National Cemetery. He made special mention of veterans who joined the military following the 9/11 attacks.
They were prepared to follow Osama bin Laden to the gates of hell, and they did.
Today's events wrap up with the Concert for Valor. The 3-hour concert, which is free, is aimed at raising awareness of issues that affect veterans. Well, get ready for a big dip in the temperatures.
All thanks to a cold front heading this way. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here. Tell us just how chilly it is going to get.
Yeah, it's going to get downright cold over the next week and change, and it's getting colder by the minute for areas just to the west of Lexington. Look at the temperatures that are showing up from across the land. 70 Prestonsburg, 48 now into Fort Knox in Hardin County. 50 Louisville, low 60s bluegrass country. We're going to drop it quickly through the 50s into the 40s and 30s now showing up just across the Ohio River. Wind chills in western Kentucky at times now close to 30 degrees. So if you go from eastern Kentucky with near 70 to wind chills near 30 in the west, you're talking about now a 40-degree temperature difference from the east to the west in terms of what it feels like. It gets a lot colder from northwest to southeast, not only tonight, but into the day tomorrow and really over the next couple of days. That cold keeps coming at us in waves. Live First Alert Defender has now picking up where the cold front is. It is surging to the east of the Louisville metro. Out ahead of that, some spotty showers, Willisburg, Springfield, now into parts of Mercer County, right up the old Bluegrass Parkway, heading into the downtown Lexington area with a couple of sprinkles. Paris up into Cynthiana and Carlisle, getting in on a couple of raindrops. Likewise into Winchester and Mount Sterling. Out this evening. Take the umbrellas and then take the winter coats if you're going to be out for several hours. Why? I know you don't need them now, but by the time you're heading back in, let's say if you're out around 11 still, it's going to be in the low 40s. It'll feel like it's in the 30s by that time. Focus of the forecast when I come back. Not only, guys, am I tracking Arctic cold, but I have snow chances that show up into the 7-day forecast. I'll show you when just ahead.
Well, thank you, Chris. The people in the upper Midwest and Rocky Mountains woke up to more cold and snow this morning. It's been a dangerous situation. At least 2 people have died on icy roads. Jamie Euclid has more from Minneapolis, where temperatures are in the 20s today.
People across Minnesota woke up to piles of snow and freezing temperatures.
It came early, so we're going to have another long winter like last year.
From Colorado to Wisconsin, an Arctic blast arrived weeks ahead of schedule, closing schools and causing dozens of accidents. Temperatures in Butte, Montana hit 4 below overnight. Forecasters say it's not over yet.
Snow will continue all day today and parts of tomorrow for the Great Lakes region. We are still talking about snowfall totals in excess of 18 inches for parts of Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan.
The winter storm hit Minnesota especially hard. It's only November, but the state's transportation website shows that 2/3 of the state's roads are either partially or totally covered with snow.
Our crews are out there and we got our plow blades down and we're removing as much as we can of the material and the snow off of the highways.
The nasty weather is also causing problems at airports. More than 150 flights were delayed or canceled in Minneapolis-St. Paul on Monday, but officials are hoping to get most travelers back on track today. Jamie Euclid, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Here's another example of how big the temperature swing can be. In Oklahoma City, yesterday's high was 80 degrees. The low this morning, 30.
A burglar made an unusual escape after being caught in a man's apartment. The break-in happened around 3:30 this morning at a building on East High Street. The man got away by jumping from the apartment's balcony. WKYT's Sean Moody talked to the victim, who woke up and found him.
It's not the kind of thing you want to hear in your home late at night.
All of a sudden I heard my door open, and all of a sudden there's a guy with a hood on, and he has kind of his iPhone or his Android or something with a flashlight like on the normal phone. That's in my face.
Alex Wallachalid said he didn't know what to think at first.
And I thought it was my roommate, and so I was like, oh, Kev, and then wasn't Kev.
He said the man ran from the door and out onto their balcony, then apparently jumped.
I mean, that's at least 16 feet. I mean, he literally just shoved our lawn furniture out of the way and just leaped, and he probably caught the barrel end, so hopefully he's limping around or something somewhere. Hopefully he got his.
Alex says the man got away with his Xbox and a couple of beers. He's not sure how the man got inside because they keep their doors locked. Maintenance workers changed those locks today.
Still kind of a little wired about it, kind of flustered and everything, just with exams coming up tomorrow for me. I mean, just a little added more stress that I didn't need.
In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Well, police said after that man jumped from the balcony, they don't know where he went.
A toddler injured after falling from a second-floor window is expected to recover. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Laurel County. It happened around 6 last night at Corbin Manor Apartments. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says the girl was playing with some other children when she fell. She was airlifted to Kentucky Children's Hospital, where she is in fair condition this afternoon. A scam alert today out of Jessamine County. The Better Business Bureau says the owner of a floral shop received a call from a man telling him he had not paid his Kentucky utilities bill. He was told his service would be cut off if he didn't pay using a Green Dot Money Pack card in 30 minutes. The owner checked his records and contacted KU, who confirmed it was a scam.
The last person in the U.S. with Ebola is out of the hospital. You'll hear what he had to say about his recovery. When you get a prescription, following a doctor's orders is critical. We'll tell you what can happen if you don't. That's in Better Living. And we're tracking the investigation into a Lee County murder. We will tell you what we learned today on WKYT News at 5:30. A doctor who came down with the 9th case of Ebola in the U.S. is now out of the hospital. Craig Spencer left Bellevue Hospital in New York City this morning. He contracted Ebola while treating patients in West Africa. While Spencer is the last Ebola case in the U.S., he urged everyone to remember thousands of people still battling the virus.
Please join me in turning our attention back to West Africa and ensuring that medical volunteers and other aid workers do not face stigma and threats upon their return home.
Spencer received an experimental drug and blood plasma from survivor Nancy Wright-Bowl. Missouri's governor is preparing for the grand jury's decision in a deadly police-involved shooting. The grand jury is deciding whether Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson should be charged in the August 9th death of 18-year-old Michael Brown. 2 weeks of violent protests followed that shooting. Today, Governor Jay Nixon announced the state patrol, county, and city police will work together under a unified command. The National Guard will also be on call if needed. The grand jury's decision is expected later this month.
It's expected that lava from a volcano in Hawaii will likely destroy some more homes. The lava destroyed its first home yesterday, but stopped short of reaching a barn on the property. The home was empty when it burned. The next home is about a half-mile away, so if the lava burns it will not happen, they believe, right away. A small town in Massachusetts could become the first in the country to ban the sale of tobacco products. Tomorrow, the Board of Health in Westminster, Massachusetts, will hear public comment on the proposal. Local store owners worry a total ban on tobacco will mean the end of their businesses.
We're suspecting people are going to make their purchases out of town, and while they're out of town, they're going to buy gas. In that other town, they're going to stop for food. They're going to patronize all other businesses while they're in the other towns, which is going to force businesses in Westminster to close.
The stores around the city have been gathering signatures against the proposal. One store has more than 800 signatures.
A man comes to the rescue of a deer stuck in an unusual situation. Take a look. The deer tried to run away with a trick-or-treater's candy on Halloween, but ended up with a plastic pumpkin stuck on his head. He spent 6 days running around a Mentor, Ohio neighborhood, but no one could catch him. Finally, Cameron Merritt used inspiration from the gridiron to help the deer out.
Just like football tackle. When I grabbed it, we went to the ground, and it popped right off. That stress on that deer because it couldn't eat, that's terrible. It needed to be done today.
Well, that deer was okay and ran away after Merritt.